Hello and welcome to a new edition of True Audiophiles, or another edition of True Audiophiles if you're watching this a few months down the road. So I'm going to talk about box sets, and more specifically, why the LP box sets are so much more money than the CD box sets. So there are definitely several factors. I don't know if all of them pertain to cost to manufacture, but we'll talk about that a little bit, and I'll show you some examples of what I'm talking about too. Hope you're having a great week this week and great day. So there are several reasons for the price differences. I think the most obvious ones are just the cost of materials. So the most obvious thing would be the books that come with them and the extra literature and that kind of stuff that comes with it. And I've actually got an example to kind of show you what I'm talking about here. Long explanation, but I bought Black Sabbath's Technical Ecstasy Super Deluxe box set. This is just the front cover, obviously, for the record purpose, but here is the the record box set cover and the CD box set cover. So obviously right off the bat you can see there's more material to make the box itself. But let's kind of show you everything that comes with both box sets and get a better idea of where I'm coming from on this. So basically you have 4 CDs with the box set, and obviously small little inexpensive cardboard holders for the CDs themselves. And then you've got a poster. I'm not going to fold it out, but you know, I'll unfold it a little bit anyway, just to give you an idea. Comes with this just fabulous poster. So you got that. And then 2 other little extra pieces here. You've got, a quote-unquote book that kind of gives you some notes about the release and, some pictures of some of the releases of the singles and things on that nature, and kind of talks about that kind of stuff in detail. And then they give you a replica of a tour book from that year. Basically, it's the same tour that they took the recording from, because the last CD is actually a concert recording, which is pretty decent. But again, this is basically just a recreation of the tour book from that year. So nice little tiny print. For those of you that are old like me, that becomes very difficult to read. Especially since I just got my eye exam and I need even stronger glasses now. So anyways, let's talk about this, the record box set. So not only do you obviously have larger sleeves, but they also have a 5th record, because the concert needed to be spread out over 2 records. So you've got that cost, okay? Then you've got the poster. I'm not going to open this poster up because it's just too big, but it's a bigger poster. Not 100% sure why they did it. I mean, I sort of understand, but I sort of don't. But take my word for it, it's definitely a bigger poster. This is part of the poster. As you can see, it is definitely much bigger. But the biggest difference, and one of the big reasons why I like vinyl so much, is first off, the book that comes with it is obviously much bigger. It's got the same information on it, and again, for you old folks out there like me, the text is much bigger, so it's easier to read. But you just got bigger pictures, bigger text. Everything about it is bigger, so much bigger, and so more costly to make. But the bigger one in this particular case, if you're interested is you could be the poster too, because that's much bigger, but is the tour book. And a big part, if you remember me showing you in there, the other one, the text was so small, and it's not much bigger here, but it is it's big enough. It's bigger enough that it's easier to read for us old folks. So, but obviously the bigger artwork that's in here as well, and just all the stuff in here is much bigger and, in my opinion, much more exciting to look at, and much more appealing, I should say. So that's so those are the main obvious factors for why a vinyl box set will be bigger, more expensive than the CD. Is just the cost of the materials that you make. Especially, I want to stress the vinyl itself. I know that the costs have gone up pretty dramatically on the vinyl material that records are made from over the past couple years because of COVID. But I think just in general, it cost more to purchase the materials. Then the next bigger issue is one of the ones that really kind of puts it over the edge as to why it's much more expensive for records. And that is to produce a record is a lot more money, for just the whole process of making the record. The fact that you've got to get some recording engineer to cut, in this particular case, 10 sides of a record, and then they've got to make the stampers and all that process. That whole process is a lot of time and, in turn, a lot of money. So that adds a lot of cost to the record that you don't get on the CD, because the CD, you just take a digital file and print it onto on CDs, and it's much cheaper. It's still not cheap, but significantly less money than the record. So I think all of those reasons are the biggest reasons why records should be more expensive than CD box sets. I should probably make sure and be clear about that. Now, whether they should be as much more as a CD box set, I'm not sure I would quite go as far, because I've definitely seen some where they're like 2, 3, 4, 5 times the price. The one that comes to mind is the Lee Morgan Live at the Lighthouse Complete Edition. The box set for the records was like $350, and I want to say the records, I'm sorry, that's the records, and it's 12 LPs, and I want to say the CDs, which I think were 8 CDs, if I'm not mistaken, were like $70 or $80. So 80 as opposed to $350. I think that's a little extreme. I think that the probably more appropriate price for that Lee Morgan box set was probably in the $200 to $250 range. Still dramatically more than the CD, but because of the process that was required to make them, and the fact that it's 12 records as opposed to 8 CDs, so you've got 24 sides that have to be cut by Kevin Gray, which I'm sure is not cheap, and he cut them from the analog tapes, which can complicate things a little bit, because you got to make sure of speeds adjustments are proper, and all the other things that you make sure, the alignments and cleaning of the heads and all that stuff you generally don't have to worry about with digital, that you do have to worry about with all analog, you have to worry about. So that, again, adds to the cost. Anytime there's more time and preparation involved, there's going to be money involved. So also in the manufacturing process, I've already kind of discussed that records are more expensive to manufacture from the materials costs and the production costs, but also you've got more defective product that comes off of pressing records than you do of pressing CDs. So you're going to have a little more waste, which again adds to the cost. So there's a lot involved with that, and a lot of reasons why records are more. Now, I think some labels / artists try to take advantage of that. The Lee Morgan is the prime example. In my personal opinion, for a box set, I don't think they should ever be more than, when you're talking about multiple record box sets, I don't think they should cost more than $15, $20 a record. Unless you've got a lot of extra stuff, a lot of extra, huge books or, other things like that, or materials that they want to include. Although the tchotchkes, I could take or leave them, but I mean, some of them are kind of cool. Like the Metallica box set had like guitar picks and a lanyard and things like that, which those could potentially be useful or fun to have, but again, they're not a need to have. But so that's kind of the story on that. Another good example of a box set that is going to be a lot more money because of the amount of materials involved, or in this case, just because there's a lot more records than there are CDs, is this Metallica Blacklist Box Set. By the way, I just have to say, I love the design. I love this. You know, those are the spines of all the records, which I just think is really cool. But anyway, you know, this is, and if you haven't heard this, if you're a Metallica fan, especially a fan of the box set, if you're a fan of the Black Album, and you're a big fan of all kinds of genres of music, I must stress that, you should check this out. You know, just stream it if you want to, but because the box set gets a little pricey, but unless you buy it on CD. But it's very cool. The profits go to charity as well, but there's a lot of cool versions. Like, I think one of the more interesting ones, and I mean, you know, if you get it out of your head who the artist is, the main artist is anyways, but it's got Miley Cyrus, Elton John, and a couple of the guys from Metallica doing, I think it's Nothing Else Matters, I believe. But there's just a lot of really cool versions of the songs and kind of variations that kind of go in different genres. But anyway, the CD version is $26. It's 4 CDs. This is 7 LPs, and it's like 150, 160 bucks. But just goes to show, because this is 7 records as opposed to 4 CDs, so a lot more cost involved in making it. So that's everything I've got for this week. I really would love to hear your take on it, and especially kind of get your thoughts. Maybe if you have some questions, I'd love to, you know, answer any questions you have down below. What are your thoughts on the costs of record box sets compared to CD box sets? And I'm not just talking about box sets in general, because I think you've heard me talk about it before, that I think box sets in general, in a lot of cases, are way overpriced, especially the new Kiss Destroyer 45th anniversary one. 4 CDs and a Blu-ray for $200 is extreme. Even though it's got a ton of extras that I could care less about. I mean, it's kind of a nice to have thing. But anyway, I would love to hear your take on the cost differences between the CD and the record box sets, and kind of see what you think about it, and especially after hearing everything I've told you about why there's such a big cost difference between the two, or selling price difference between them. And just leave your comments and questions below. You know, if you liked what you see here, please hit that like button. So please hit that subscribe button if you want to see all my videos. Hit that alert bell to let you know when my new videos come out. Also got the social media pages down below. I would love to be able to talk to you guys more and have you see some of my stuff I kind of have going on during the week. I usually do at least a couple posts. It depends on how busy work is, so I will post some extra stuff when I get the chance. But anyway, love to hear your take on things. I hope you're having a good week, like I said, and I will look forward to hearing from you guys. So thank you very much, and have a great one.